So you got space age, and suddenly the tech tastes different? Where's my cliff explosives? Ain't Vulcanus? Oh, goodness gracious me. This confused me a lot. The game pushes you into space early and doesn't really explain how to do this stuff, how to do space platforms and all that good stuff. But after a lot of trial and error, I found a simple way to understand space platforms and interplanetary travel, and I want to share that with you. But first things first, the tech tree. Once you've researched the rocket silo, you see in the effects area, you're going to research or unlock the, what would I call it, the key components to build space platforms. And as you can see, after you build a space platform, you're going to unlock other stuff, which are the recipes to use the materials in space. We'll get into that in a sec. And then you'll start to make space science pack on a space platform. And that's the first thing we are going to do. Why, oh why, do we even need space platforms? What the heck is this? You see on the left hand side, once you've researched what you need to research, space map will appear on the left hand side. Ignore, by the way, this extra stuff. I already beat the game, so ignore the extra stuff. You'll have the space map. And here it is, the new planets. It's not novice anymore. You need to go to all these planets to beat the game. And what does it mean to beat the game? I'm going to go a bit to the right. You see this solar system edge? If you can create a platform and make it come here, and for you to do that, you'll need to get technology from all these planets, you will beat the game. You will notice there's something else going on to the right-hand side. Yep, that is very much late game. We are not going to worry about this, okay? Your goal is to get here, and the way to get here is to build platforms. You will notice these yellow things floating on the screen. These are my platforms. You see the things you have here on the left-hand side that you will also have on the left-hand side. These platforms are moving around, and you'll need all of this stuff to beat the game, okay? So we've unlocked the technology, we understand why we need space platforms, now it's time to build them. The first step is to actually build a space platform, and for that you'll need to come here, click Add Space Platform. For this process to be automated, you will need two things. The first one is to have space platform foundations built. As you can see, the recipe is not too difficult. And then you need the starter pack, which includes also a bit of space platform foundations and a bit of processing units and steel. The processing units is a bit heavy or costly, but it shouldn't be a big problem. By the way, you need one starter pack per platform. So using what I have as an example on the left-hand side, so I have 8, 9, 10 maybe, I had to create 10 starter packs, if it makes sense, okay? After you have this, I strongly recommend to use logistics networks because all of these components will be delivered automatically to your silos. You'll see that on the right-hand side, this is relatively new or absolutely new. Let's say absolutely new. And you need to have this ticked, which basically means, hey, drones, bring me things from the logistics chests into the rocket inventory and automatically deliver cargo. You can do this manually. Again, not recommended at all. And once you have this logistic network, all of this automated, when you click Add Space Platform, you give it a name. Let's call this tutorial Space Science, because that's the first use case, is to build space science, a space science making platform, if that's even correct way of saying it. And then when you click create, what's going to happen is, let's see if this is the one. No, this is not the one. Let's see if this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. What you'll see is that this will be automatically populated, and it will be automatically transferred into the inventory, and it will be automatically delivered. And here we go. Look, this is the one. Whee! These animations are so cool. Look at this. There he goes. Now, after a few seconds, you see this thing appeared here on the left-hand side, this kind of notification placeholder. It will only take a few seconds for it to appear here. And there we go, we have it. And now, what do we have? This is a blank canvas. The only thing you have in space, technically you have a platform in space, but you really don't have space. You don't have space in space to build space platform. I'm going to say space a lot in this video and time, so just bear with me. So when you click this, let's get familiar with the space platform hub. On the left hand side, you have the inventory space. On the middle, you have, if you're familiar with logistic networks, is what will enable you to make things go to the planet or from the planet. It's basically how to transfer things between the planets and the platform. Just a quick note, in the near future there's going to be an update to the game. This might change a bit because currently, when I'm recording this video, you can only transfer between platforms and planets. Soon you'll be able to transfer goods between platforms themselves, okay? And then on the right hand side, you have, similar to what you have at train station, for trains I mean, you'll have schedules, so you can automate the traveling of platforms between planets. We are now going to focus on actually building. And for that I use the pipette key, and I'm going to press the plus sign, and I'm just going to create something very basic and uncreative at all, because I'm not a creative person. And by the way, I like to do things asymmetrical sometimes. At least my platforms I like. Okay, maybe I leave a bit of space here on this side. Maybe a little bit. Okay, you do you. When you're creating this stuff, do whatever you please. And once you plop something in the platform, what you will notice if you go back to the space platform hub is that the request will be again automated. And you see where it says available on the planet and on the way. It's because of what I showed you earlier, because logistic network has 4,000 and something platforms, foundations I should say, and the rockets are automatically requesting those. So all of this is automated. So you see those 600 on the way, it's the rockets bringing it up. So now let's wait a little bit for this to complete. And by the way, look at the animations. Look at the animations. Oh God, it's so cool. It just makes me smile every time. I have like what, 1100 hours in this game, and I can't get bored of this. It's just so cool. The animations in this game, guys, are so amazing if you pay attention to the details. Okay, they're not like flashy or you know, not in your face type of animation, but the details are just, oh God, delicious. Okay, let's wait a little bit until this is built, and then we go to the next step. Okay, and here we go. It's almost done. This is not, you don't need more than this, basically. So this is not complicated, as hopefully you agree so far. This seems straightforward. Send the starter pack into space. After that, you now have a space to build after putting these foundations around the hub. And again, use your creativity to make it as pretty as you want or aesthetically pleasing as you want. All I build is bricks. As you can see here on the left hand side, all my platforms are bricks. Space bricks. They work. They are simple to make, and that's why I'm making this video, because I think this approach will help beginners a lot, like I was not so long ago. Right, the first thing is grab those floating rocks, those meatballs that are floating around in space. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. You see these things here? You'll need to grab them because they have the materials you need to make white science. I think an easy way to understand how the game mechanics work, high level, there's a lot of things you can do differently, but as a rule of thumb, if you're going to process things in space, or create things in space like white science, try to grab as much as possible of raw materials like ice, which is one of the elements of the recipe. Actually, let me show you. Let me show you the recipe. So, for example, what you need to do space science, you need ice, iron plate, and carbon. Grab that from the asteroid. The asteroid gives you what you need to build this stuff. Don't ship it from the planet. And the game doesn't motivate you to do that because of the rocket capacity limits, which we'll discuss in a couple of minutes. Okay, so try to grab this stuff. What you don't need to grab from space, or you should bring from the planets, is things like assemblers, belts, inserters, etc. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, more or less, and you'll notice I created a toolbar for the key components we'll be using for this. Not this one. Let's take this out. Okay, and so the first thing is to collect these materials, and the game calls these asteroid collectors. You'll notice there is like this bluish, greenish radius. That's where they will be able to grab the asteroids. I'm going to put 4 all around on each side. And I'm going to put a belt, and this is another important concept, which is a sushi belt, which is a belt that has multiple components. You'll notice as well that there are 3 types of chunks. I know there's 4 here. Ignore this one. This is that late game shattered planet stuff. Ignore this. What you're going to be grabbing is 3 types of chunks or asteroids, which is the metallic, the carbonic, and the oxide. And later on, you'll have recipes, different recipes to turn these things into more advanced materials. Okay, so the first thing is I want to grab whatever these 3 appear within the radius, within the range of these collectors. I want to grab them and I want to put them in the belt. I should say like this. I also want to put them on the belt for further processing, because the chunks as they are useless. So you'll need to turn them into something you can use. You'll also notice that it's asking for power. Now, one of the cool things about the space platform foundations is that they transmit power automatically. So you don't need to bring power poles or anything like that. And the easiest way that will take you almost to the end game is just to put some solar panels. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a bunch of them. Oh goodness, I misplaced. There you go. Fine. Again, statically you do whichever way you want. For me, this is the easiest way. The next step is to grab the asteroids and process them into something. So I'm going to put the 3 types, because you have a recipe for each type. Ignore these 6 recipes on the right. This is more advanced stuff. The ones you're going to get available from the start are these 3, which basically turn the metallic asteroids into iron ore, and there's a percentage of returning a chunk as well. This one will give you carbon and again same percentage of a chunk, and ice and a percentage. So these are the 3 materials, and you'll notice that for the white science, that's what you need with one extra step. You need carbon, you need ice, and you need iron plates. So we'll need to convert that iron ore into iron plates, and that again, you do it in space or in this platform, okay? So to put the recipes, you just click the crusher, select which recipe you want. Yes, I want iron on this side. And the reason I want iron on this side, it will make sense when I start building the furnaces to turn this into iron plates. Because I kind of have it in my head. Because I always build like this, so I'm already used to it, to be fair. So I kind of know what I'm going to do. And what I'm going to do now is to plop assemblers near the only storage option you have in space, which is this cargo hub. You cannot use chests or anything like that. For liquids or fluids, you can use the tanks, but for non-fluids, that's what you need to do. You need to use this. You can put it in chests. You can put it in belts and stuff, but this the easiest way, just drop this into the cargo hub and job's done. So now we are going to configure this with white science. I'm going to then put here some like this. Yes, probably like this. Some furnaces, and that's basically it. So I'm going to put belts around here and job's done. Oh, another useful thing about the sushi belt is that because this returns as a percentage of chance to return a chunk, you want to return it back to the belt for further processing. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'll be right back. Job's done. So now I have 4 collectors. As you can see, it doesn't need to cover the whole radius of the platform. There's plenty of rocks to grab. Then these rocks get fed into the crushers. The crushers separate the 2 types of potential resources, so the ore and another chunk. If it's a chunk, as you can see, I'm using the filters to return it back to this sushi belt, and everything else goes for processing the white science. And as you can see, it's already processing. Easy peasy. Now, one thing you need to consider as well is power. So if you click the hub, you have here a show electric network. When you click here, you understand the consumption, the production. You can see I'm not producing enough for what I need. I have two ways to tackle this, which I technically, or not technically, or I frequently use both, which is put just more solar panels. Or you can make this super small. You can make much smaller. As you can see, I'm wasting a lot of space here. I don't really need so many solar panels, as you can see. Oh, goodness. Right, this is super ugly, so don't get inspiration. You're not going to get inspiration from me for beautiful stuff, but it's practical and functional. I still make it slightly, tidy. Okay, let's not make also a big mess out of it, and hopefully this will fit just perfectly. Okay, it's not too bad, right? Simple, and it works. And so what I did was increase the energy capacity or production, and now I have plenty. But you could also do another thing, which is use those efficiency modules and bring that consumption right down. And most of these components, they can take them. The collectors don't, but everything else basically does. And that's it, guys. That's it. You are now producing white science in space. You have a platform. And look, things are being shipped automatically. Now, something to note. As you can see, I didn't configure anything here, okay? Everything you see here was automatically requested for construction, like this thing here says. But how is it being sent automatically down to the planet? That's because on the cargo landing pad, I have a logistic request, okay? What this means is that anything that stops in Novice, if it has whatever material I'm requesting, it will automatically be shipped down. And that's it, guys. Now, the next step is how to create a moving platform, because this one is stationary. Let's just go there. This one can't move anywhere. So how do we make them move? We will use thrusters. And that's the next platform we are going to create. Okay. Now let's build a mobile platform. I already created another space platform, same as before. Click Add Space Platform, gave it a name, and now it's here. It was the starter pack was shipped into the platform, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy paste the previous platform we created, and then just tweak it to add thrusters and other stuff we'll need. Okay, we now have the basic components of a moving platform. And once everything is producing fine, I still need to give a couple of tweaks that we'll discuss in a sec. It's ready to go. Now, what did I do in this time lapse? Let's start with the thrusters. So I put these thrusters, we don't really need many. I put 4 just because I think it looks cool. It makes my space brick look cool, at least to me. And you need 2 types of fuel, the blue and the red one, and this is just piping to make sure that they get the fuel they need. As you can see, they can transfer fuel, the input, output, they can be staggered like this. So that simplifies a little bit, but then I put like a very simple piping network here. You'll also notice there are storage tanks for fluids. That works in space, and this is to buffer the fuel, basically, because you will need to buffer while you're stopping. These tanks are filling up with fuel, and it helps with the throughput, let's say, and the travel time between the planets. Water is needed for both these recipes. One recipe requires iron and water. The other recipe requires carbon and water. You did this in normal chemical plants. And you see I have this direct inserters because I don't really need to put this stuff in the belt, with the exception of the iron ore. Why? Because I need iron plates. Why? Because I need ammunition. Why? Because when this platform starts moving, you need some kind of protection against these floating meatballs. Okay? When you're stationed in Novice, and you can see here on this pop-up tooltip, you see on the top it says stop at Novice, and you can see the symbol of the planet as well. Novice is safe. Okay? You don't need any protections at all. Once you start moving, you'll need to protect, especially against the front, because most asteroids will hit you on the front. When then you get to another planet and you are stationary on that planet, The other planets, i.e. not novice, some of these meatballs will float from the sides, and that's why I put a couple of rockets. They don't normally float from the back, so I don't put any protection, although you can see the radius, it almost protects most of it, if it makes sense. You will notice that I now have two belts going around. I have an inner belt, which was the belt I originally created on the Space Science, the stationary platform, to store the asteroid chunks, and now I have the outer belt just for ammunition. Let me zoom in a little bit, let's say on this side. And that's because I want to put obviously the defenses, the turrets, and later other stuff to protect the platform. And so the outer belt is just a convenient way to reach the outer parts of the platform. And you'll notice I'm also using the cargo bay as a temporary storage. And I'm dumping it here, and then from here I have here this splitter that's doing the opposite of splitting. It's merging these two belts, okay? As you can see, this belt now is complete. There's nothing else that can fit here, but I want to control the quantities that go into the cargo, because I don't want to have all of this. Eventually this all will fill up, and I don't want that. And I also want to control the volume of ammo on the outside belt. If I do, it's optional. In this simple setup, it's optional, but I'll show you anyway, because it will be useful later on when you'll if you would adopt a similar design. You might want to have different types of ammo here, and then you might want to control the quantities of that ammo. So the easiest way is use circuits, very simple circuits. So you grab one of the wires, doesn't matter the color, you connect these inserters, and then you connect them to the hub. Okay, so now you have a circuit network. Then you put a condition. For example, I only want, I want it to store, okay, 800 is fine. So it should stop now. So this should stop. I need to copy to all the other ones. So I'm copying that to all the other ones, and now none of them is working. And I can do something similar on this side. This side has an additional step, which is I want to read how much ammunition I have on this belt. So I click the belt, and then I click the inserter. And I want this to read all belts. Okay, you'll notice I put like a yellow border around it. Okay, so now I'm reading the whole belt, and I can make a decision. Let's see, how many do we have? 500. I guess that's it. So as long as you have less than 500, this guy will work. This inserter will do stuff. And obviously this is like super simplistic, and this how I use circuits. By the way, I recently created a circuit video. I'll put the link somewhere here if you want to deep dive a little bit, but this is the power of circuits. It's very simple conditions, so you put a bit of intelligence in this. And there's another need for circuits that I didn't talk about on the previous one. Let me double check I didn't. Yeah, no, I didn't. You see that this belt will eventually fill up. When this belt fills up, it will stop moving. And if this belt stops moving, then nothing works. So what you'll want to do is to create, actually I'm going to copy it from an existing one because it's easier. You can see here. To prevent this belt from filling up, I did exactly the same. I'm reading the whole belt, and then the inserter makes a decision. How many do I want? If it's more than X, I put a threshold, it just throws them out. And the way I can do this is just copy this, because that's literally what I need. And I'm going to plop it somewhere, let's say here. Oh, I don't have that type of belt. You can do this on multiple ways. This is my own lazy way. I'm going now to read this belt, and I'm going to read the whole belt. And now if the condition is true, which it is, it's working. Same for all the other ones. And this is how I keep the belts tidy. I'm going to do the same on this one. This one, okay, I need to do a small tweak. And there we go. It's ready. We have fuel. We have protection against the asteroids. Now all we need is to bring our guy in. Oh, but by the way, like I normally do, you see there's a bunch of blank spaces, and I don't think it's too much to repeat that this is not an optimal efficient way, because if I try to aim for optimal efficient way, it just stresses the heck out of me. So this is how I enjoy the game. Okay, it's simple, it's efficient in terms of me progressing the game, maybe not efficient in terms of performance in the actual production or the platform itself. Okay, just as a disclaimer. So what I want to do as well here is to put some more solar panels. That's kind of what I do to fill in these blanks, and it kind of makes it look cool, at least to my eyes. And then I could fill in these blanks with accumulators, because certain planets, they have less solar power energy. So I could do, actually, let me do something like so. That's it. I could fit like accumulators here. Here I still have some space, so let's put something here. And that's basically what I recommend beginners to do. Just focus on building the factory as simple as possible. Sushi belts help. And then internally, you just build internally, I mean in the center of the platform, you just build like a normal factory and just focus on the outcomes. And the outcomes here is we need fuel and we need ammo. And that's what I'm building. Now that we have a moving platform, the first use case for that moving platform is to bring our engineer to another planet. Awesome. He cannot travel with stuff. And by stuff, I mean ammunition or anything, sorry, or anything in the inventory. So let me just dump everything here. Let me actually, first I want to make sure everything is disabled. Trash and requested. I shouldn't have done the trash and requested. It will take a little bit, but maybe I'm faster. Done. Now, next step, go to a rocket, any rocket, and click Travel to Space Platform. Choose your platform, in this case it's Explorer, and look at this cool animation. It's so cool, isn't it? It's so cool. I just wished the engineer was kind of in these windows here, in these like small control towers to be so cool. But anyway, I digress. Right, we have the engineer, we have the platform fueled and ready to go. Now we just need to tell it to go. So you go to your platform hub, you click Add Station, and you select where you want to go. I highly recommend Vulcanus for many reasons. The main one is I really want those freaking cliff explosives, okay? Explosives, okay? Plus the miners and the found is also a good improvement. But anyway, just put the destination you want, press play, and enjoy. We are almost there. I just want to highlight, look at these big meatballs and these big ice blocks. If you didn't have these turrets, they would bang against the platform and destroy it. And we arrived! Yay! We are stopped at Vulcanus. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed, the jet engine or the thruster animation is also super cool. But anyway, let's land! So for you to send your guy, your engineer to the planet, you just go to the right hand side, select the planet, obviously the one you're in orbit, otherwise the platform will have to go somewhere else. And now let's watch another cool animation. We have landed on another planet. How cool is that? Obviously, I already have a base here, but you would land more or less in the middle of nowhere. Let me go to the middle of nowhere. And so you would effectively be stranded when you land. You can use your platform to bring some stuff, I recommend as a beginner, well, any stage really, but particularly as a beginner, to not bring too much stuff. Try to make the planet work for you. I discover the planet, discover how it works, because with the exception of Aquilo, all the planets have everything you need to build a rocket and launch the guy back to space so you're not stranded anymore. Okay? Quick recap. What have we done so far? We created a stationary space science platform just to produce white science and send it back to Novice. We created a moving platform to transfer to transport the engineer so you can explore the planets. And now I'm making a literal copy of this space explorer, the moving platform, but with one difference, which is the way I'm going to configure the schedules. As you can see, I just finished creating a new platform like we did before, a space platform. The starter pack gets loaded on the rocket, gets shipped to space, you then build this, and what I did, I went to the Explorer, I copied, and then I pasted here. And now we play the waiting game. But while the platform is being built, the only difference between the Explorer and the Transporter is that I want this to be automatically transfer things from A to B. And if you're familiar with trains, this will be easy peasy lemon squeezy. If not, just bear with me. Let's say I want to transfer things between Novice and Vulcanus. For example, I want to transfer science from Vulcanus into Novice. Like with trains, you add all requests satisfied, so stay in this stop, stay at Vulcanus until all requests are satisfied. And where do you configure those requests? Here. So I want to request the science. This case is the orange juice science. You also have the option to select which planet. By default, it tries to kind of guess where it is based on where this material is typically produced. Then you need to select the quantity with this bar. It can be the maximum. You will also notice when you select the product, it will tell you the rocket capacity. So because it says 1,000, that means for me to get 2,000 on this request, I need 2 rockets, or at least 2 trips of the same rocket if you only have a rocket in the planet. But basically 2 rockets, that's basically the easiest way to understand. So you press confirm and job's done. It's grayed out because it's currently Novice. And then you can do the other way around. You can say, okay, load everything in Novice. Let's say I want to take something to Vulcanus. What would I want to take? Let's say I want to take some power poles. I don't know why I want to do this on a regular basis. Oh, I know, nuclear fuel. You really don't need nuclear fuel in Novice, in Vulcanus. But anyway, just as an example, right? Again, import from. When you look at the resource you want to transfer, you'll notice a rocket capacity 10. So if I select 50, it will be 5 rockets that need to be sent, okay, which will slow down obviously the loading and unloading of goods, if it makes sense. But it's just for an example's sake, okay? It's red because it's still busy doing other stuff. It becomes yellow, you notice the background behind the icon, when things are on the way. And it gets, let's say, normal background when the request is fulfilled. And you can monitor this on this side. If I put all requests satisfied, it will start to fill up this bar again, like with trains. And that's it. Once I put this on automatic, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to create this kind of lazy way of making sure this platform doesn't go anywhere, which is put a condition that can't be true ever, which is this one, passenger present and not present. And then what I need to do is just press automatic and it will start to do its thing. And that's it, guys. So, quick recap, stationary platform. That's the first thing we did. We create a moving platform that can do 2 things, transport your guy and automate the transfer of goods. And that's it. I hope this has been useful. I hope it has helped you save lots of hours of trials and errors like I had to go through. Because maybe I'm unlucky, but I couldn't find a video that didn't assume I knew something about this topic, it's super difficult. So hopefully I did a job good enough to help you. And please do leave me some comments below. Tell me if it helped you, or if I missed something, or if something is wrong. Please do let me know. I appreciate that kind of feedback. Politely and respectful, but I'm sure you'll do that. Okay? I think that's it from me. I will be posting more videos about how to for beginners in the near future. I think the next one is going to be about logistics networks, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.